Welcome back, True Seeker. Buzzing in the headlines. International singing star Chris Brown arrested in England, stemming back to a February 19th, 2023 alleged attack on a bar patron with a bottle of 1942 Don Julio. The arrest comes May 15th, 2025. Mercury, known for trickery and deception. Look at what it says he was arrested for. U.S. singer Chris Brown has been arrested and charged with inflicting grievous bodily harm in connection with an alleged assault in February 2023. The phrase inflicting grievous bodily harm equates to 155. Arrested on 15/5, as they would write it in the UK. Again, if you're new here, this practice of coding numbers into words, you should really learn it because this is how your headlines are contrived every single day. This is how your government is rigged. This is how your elections are rigged. And we've been showing this from the UK to the USA to all across the world. And of course, it is Britain that colonized pretty much the whole world. Thus, the phrase, the sun never sets on Britain. But yeah, that's the beginning of this. Now, if you're new here, there are 4 base ciphers of the English language. They are the alphabetic order, the reverse alphabetic order. So A would be 1, Z would be worth 26 in the standard cipher. You just count up A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4. Running it in reverse, just counting in reverse. Z would be 1, counting back to A is 26, and then both orders with numerology applied. You can see how Chris and England overlap in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. And notice the 33 overlap. Of course, England's divided into 33 neighborhood areas. Alcohol equals 33 in that same cipher that Chris and England do. In the U.S., prohibition ended in 33. A lot of Masonic connections, of course, with 33, but also alcohol companies, masonry, order, secrecy, they all equal 33. But anyway, coming back, Chris and England, 57 in the most simple cipher. If you apply numerology, Chris Brown is 57, so his tape Nightclub, that's allegedly where he hit the guy with the Don Julio bottle. Notice Don Julio bottle equals 57. He was arrested at the Lowry Hotel. If you run it in reverse, the Lowry Hotel is 57. I call 57 the entertainer code. We know Prince got it at 57. Charlie Murphy died at 57 soon after, and he was part of that skit connected to Prince. Of course, Prince died on the Queen's birthday, 4/21. Prince associated with royalty. He had the hit song I Would Die For You with the number 4 and the letter U and used the 21st letter. Thus, I Would Die 4/21, the day he died 33 years later. Recorded that song in 83. But yeah, this nightclub where the attack happened, just the word alone, tape, is 15. He gets arrested on the 15th. If you don't apply numerology, tape is 42, the number stamped all over black history. So often when a black celebrity is shamed in the media, there's a big fat 42 stamp on it. Tape 42. The other day when the headlines broke about the fat woman statue in Times Square, it broke 42 days from the end date that the statue would come down, June 17th. But anyway, tape 42, nightclub 42. The attack supposedly happened in Black History Month, February 42. Again, they got to tell you it was a Don Julio 1942 tequila. Do you see how the incident happened supposedly on February 19th? That's the 50th day of the year. Look at the address of the hotel he was arrested at. The address is 50. The attack on the 50th day of the year, arrested at building 50. Again, just the point is news by the numbers. Chris Brown just turned 36 on May 5th. That means he was arrested 10 days after his birthday. If you spell out 10, it equates to 42. He was arrested 24 days before his tour is set to begin in Amsterdam on June 8th. Of course, 24 is the reflection of 42. It's kind of like Jackie Robinson, number 42, who lost his son at age 24. And never forget this story. Kamala Harris, who just supposedly lost the election, getting 42% of the Electoral College vote. Once upon a time, back on the 42nd day of the year, and there's been a gazillion examples since, but this is one of the all-time classics. Kamala took questions about her blackness on the 42nd day of the year. That was also the anniversary of her mother's death, who was Indian. But again, that was in February on the 42nd day. February 42, like brothers, like Bravo Mike. That's what police call a black male, a Bravo Mike. The N word's 42. Moses Walker is the first black baseball player in white major league. Actually, it's actually not Jackie who wore 42. It's Moses Walker who played in 42 games. This 42 stamped on all kinds of black celebrities, including one of the biggest on the world stage today, LeBron James. Again, slavery equals 42, like Jackie, like Tuskegee, like Martin. Think of the sitcom Martin. He lives in apartment 42 in Detroit on the 42nd parallel. Martin Luther King Jr., that was not his birth name. It was given to him. Martin's 42. Malcolm X is 42. Muhammad Ali's another 42, also not his birth name. These three civil rights activists were all given names that equaled 42. Of course, Huxtable and Cosby Show, 42. The word bus is 42. There's a million more of these. Puff Daddy's 42, like Freak Offs. That's going on right now. You can watch his music video with Faith Evans and Carl Thomas, where it begins with a bus driving by that just happens to be bus number 42. You can look into Rosa Parks' death, known for On the Bus. She died in a big fat 42 ritual. On and on and on. There's a million of these. But again, had to be the Don Julio 42 for Chris Brown. And Manchester has the same gematria as Black Lives Matter and Black for that matter. And there's even more to this, but yeah, we'll keep it short and sweet. 4257. And, these numbers also connect with Masonry. Scottish Rite equals 57. The highest degree of the Scottish Rite is 33. Freemason equals 42. They etch on the Masonic temples all as number. Freemasonry is based in Kabbalah. This practice of coding numbers into words comes from Kabbalah. Again, the Kabbalistic text, the Book of Formation, the opening paragraph says God created the world with numbers, letters, and words, kind of like how God speaks the world into existence in Genesis, which equals 33. Genesis means in the beginning, which equals 137, which is the 33rd prime. But yeah, it's a joke. And all of these stories with Chris Brown to date have been just like this. We've covered several of these stories over the years, his alleged abuse of other people. Again, it's about back to your regularly scheduled programming, where for decades, media has programmed the world to believe that black people are more dangerous, they're bad people, they're abusive, they're drug addicts, they're drug dealers, et cetera, et cetera. And they love to give you these stories over and over with black entertainers. You learn to decode them, you'll see that they're all numerical ritual, just like the rest of the crap in the news. So, anyway, we'll leave it there for now. And until next time, True Sticker.